Hodgepodge. 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 There's a nonsense word that I like. Hodgepodge. Hodgepodge. What's up? Speaking of hodgepodges, it's 8 o'clock in the morning here at Site B, and the sun is out, at least momentarily. It is 58 degrees and hazy shades of winter. It's Arbor Day. It's Arbor Day. There's a holiday we completely forget about. Arbor Day is the tree day. Oh, look, trees. It's where they used to give us those little tree saplings in school, and you would go out and plant them, and maybe one out of every 100 actually grew. Yeah. So, trees. It's also Alien Day. And Pretzel Day. Yum. It's also Friday, which means we don't really have anything we talk about on Fridays. It's sort of just a random thought day. And we usually take a look at news stories we might have missed during the week because we were too preoccupied with the latest controversy from Wizards of the Coast or revisiting the stupid safety tools argument again. So we might have missed this one and a few others, but this one's probably the biggest one. If you're a Diablo, Warcraft, Overwatch type of person, BlizzCon has been canceled this year. BlizzCon has been canceled this year. No virtual BlizzCon, no actual factual in one place BlizzCon, but they might do a lot of little things. They might do a lot of pop-ups. Now, what is the reason for BlizzCon canceling this year? They don't really give one. They kind of just sort of say, yeah, it doesn't really feel like it. It doesn't really feel like it's a thing. And I don't know. I mean, aren't there championships and contests and things and that go on at BlizzCon? But if you read it, they're just saying, well, we're going to try different things. We might try some different formats, but we're going to bring BlizzCon back in the future. But for this year, no big BlizzCon, no big BlizzCon in one place. But there might be lots of little pop-ups, maybe. We don't know. Because there's like the championships things, but I don't know, maybe Blizzard games aren't as big a thing as they used to be. Do people still play Overwatch championship thingies and all the other games, Dwarf Fortress and all the other games that they do? People still playing World of Warcraft? Is people still, anybody playing Diablo 4, or has everybody just gone back to Diablo 2? I don't know. Maybe there's just no much money in it anymore, and they're like, let's not have one. We're going to spend more than we make. Maybe it's just a sign of the future that with the world the way it is post-COVID and digital media overload, that it's actually more financially soluble. Probably not the word I meant. But yeah, it's probably maybe just better investment to do lots of little pop-ups and do more online-y things instead of just having one big convention in one place, charging a lot of money for tickets and hotels and prizes and everything, when you can do kind of the same thing for less by just spreading it out. So maybe it's a financial thing. I mean, most of it's online anyways. Why go? I guess maybe. I don't know. Like I said, they don't really give a reason. They're just like, yeah, we're not going to do it this year. We might do it again in the future, but this year we're going to try something else. We're not telling you what that is because we're not sure, but the mood is exciting. So there you go. No BlizzCon this year. That's probably the biggest one, I would guess, story-wise. Howdy, Shadow and Sun. Another one that got announced, I think this was last night. There's going to be the first live performance of 2024 from Critical Role is coming up, but it's not going to be a Critical Role one-night stand. Oh no, it's going to be a Candle Obscura one-night performance with a actual horror role play horror thingy with the Candle Obscura crowd. Where are they having this? Where? Doesn't say where. Oh, somewhere. This is going to be live somewhere, and you can get to go see it. It's somewhere in LA. It says here. Spencer, the creator of the game, will be the DM. Tailson will be the master of ceremonies. New players will include Laura, Matt, Marisha, and this guy from The Walking Dead. I guess they feel that a stage production of Candle Obscura might go over better than it has online. I mean, like a sort of an Agatha Christie whodunit, or is it just going to be them sitting at a table playing Candle Obscura, doing voices and in costume, and we watch them play Candle Obscura at the table in the theater? Considering how big of a failure Candle Obscura is, do you really think there's an audience for this? Or is it just that people are going to go, oh, it's Critical Role, I'll go see it, as opposed to, this is literally like the worst horror game made, but whatever. Candle Obscura was a disaster. You should just let it die. Anybody disagree with me? Is there any, there's got to be some people who think this was actually a good game, right? I don't know. Maybe. I read it. I've looked at all the reviews. I watched the live play. It's just bad. Here's another one that we missed. This one regards Roll20 and Discord. Roll20 and Discord. Roll20 is coming to Discord as an activity. What does that mean? It means that they will be adding a thing in Discord which will allow you to have the Roll20 come up in Discord while still using the Discord interface. You can use Discord for voice and video chat, but you can use the Roll20 stuff for everything else. So pretty much what everybody's doing anyways, just now you don't have to switch back and forth between Roll20 and have Roll20 up in your computer and have Discord up in your computer, because now it's all combined with one. Because, Roll20 is not clunky and backwards enough, and Discord is not clunky and backwards enough. Let's take these two clunky mechanical things and smush them together to make one new thing that is going to be twice the clunky, twice the just draggy drag, twice the, oh God, Roll20 is awful, and Discord is pretty bad too. And let's face it, having played multiple games using Discord and Roll20, I don't see the point. Once Discord's up and you're talking, you don't really go back to Discord. Everything's done on Roll20. And doesn't Roll20 have a built-in communication system anyways? I know there's buttons for it, but I've never seen it used because everybody does, let's use Discord for chat and Roll20 for everything else. Or let's use Zoom for chat and Roll20 for everything else. And, excuse me. Once the chat's up and then talking and everybody's done the mic check, how often do you go back to Discord and look at it? Everything you're doing can be done in Roll20 unless you're carrying on a separate conversation in Discord. But now we're going to combine them together. I think this is, I don't know. To me, it feels like let's take something that's really counterintuitive and clunky, and then take another thing that's counterintuitive and clunky and combine them together in one brand new thing that's going to be counterintuitive and clunky, as opposed to just making it easier. Owlbear Radio is, or even, just a paint program is really all you need, right? All Roll20 does is allow the players to have slightly faster access to their character sheets and to move their tokens around. But everything else, it's for what it does. Especially with the Fantasy Grounds, and there's better ones, and I'm just sort of spitballing here. I can't really get the brain to focus on what I'm trying to say, other than, but they both kind of just are not great. So combining them together, feels like it's just going to make them more not great. But I don't know. Maybe it'll be a thing. Congratulations to the Dungeon Dudes. They are currently in the $1 Million Club for their Monsters of Darkholm, their 5e Monster edition that they made. Has hit the $1 Million Club just barely, but still, it's $1 million. So congratulations to Dungeon Dudes for hitting the $1 Million Club. Yeah, it's a 5e product and it's a monster book. And you know, when it's monster books are always like, I got nothing else, I'll make a monster book. Wait, I made a monster book. You should just buy my monster book. Theirs is just 5e and probably has better art than mine did. But other than that, and more art and color art. I mean, the art in mine was pretty damn awesome, but just buy mine. Just buy my monster book. Link down below. So congratulations to those guys for hitting the $1 Million Club. Way. That's pretty much the stories we missed. The BlizzCon is the biggest thing. Today is Cynthia Williams' last day at Wizards of the Coast as the CEO. They're still, dealing with the aftermath of the Q1 numbers. I will give it to them. The Q1 numbers were not as bad as people expected. They were still atrocious. They were still bad. And it still goes to show that the right choices they are making in regards to going digital, whether we like it or not, actually seems to be working. The only thing that really showed a profit and moving forward were Furby and the video game shit, Monopoly Go, Magic Online, D&D Beyond, whatever else it is that Barbie Online. Those were the things that were making them money. The entire digital department was up 24% as opposed to the rest of Hasbro, which was down. Especially Power Rangers. And then they announced within 20 minutes of that going live that they were transferring a huge chunk of the Power Rangers license to Playmate Toys, which have left a lot of people going, wait, but what does that mean for me? And we're still not sure on that one. By reading it, what they're saying is we're just giving them the Mighty Morphin line. So season-wise, that's season 1, season 2, and however long it is before they introduce Turbo. And Turbo would have been the end of Mighty Morphin and the beginning of the next whatever. So I don't remember. I know there was some other stuff. There was the cowboy thing and the alien thing. But when they switched to Turbo, they stop using it, the Mighty Morphin line name. So they're saying it's going to just be the Mighty Morphin stuff. So basically anything that showed up in season 1 and season 2 and part of season 3, at least, will be figures, which, is usually the stuff people want, and then, so the nostalgia will not be affected too much. In fact, the quality of the figures might be improved if you look at the quality of some of the Playmate stuff, especially their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I don't know, it could be a good thing. But then we also found out that they're ending the comic book run of Mighty Morphin. So they're pretty much either selling off, licensing off, or ending anything that has to do with Mighty Morphin, which pushes back the production of a possible new series another year. So yeah, the only thing that saw a profit was digital. And under digital, we have Tabletop and Magic the Gathering, which, because they're part of the Digital Wizards branch, even though digital and Wizards are two separate things, not only as far as the Hasbro is concerned, but literally in physical reality, digital and Wizards of the Coast take up two separate chunks of the property. They're not even in the same place anymore. So while they might all be under the Digital Wizards brand, it is painfully obvious that Hasbro considers Wizards of the Coast and digital two separate entities, and it is Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast, and Dungeons and Dragons are two separate entities, right? And then, it's which version of D&D are we talking about, but that's a separate topic, blah, 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 blah. So that digital Wizards of the Coast, that entire category was up. And within that category, the big ones were Magic the Gathering and anything connected to Magic the Gathering, i.e. the online Magic the Gathering stuff, Monopoly Go, D&D Beyond, and then tabletop. They're saying tabletop was up, but really what they're saying is digital tabletop was up. Digital tabletop. The D&D Beyond stuff was up. The video games was up. The Baldur's Gate was up. As for actual sales of D&D product, well, they can claim that's up, and other people can say, look, this shows that, D&D is doing well. But then we also know how poorly the last two releases have done, Planescape and the Book of Many Cards, which was delayed and then a disaster. Both the Book of Infinite Cards and Planescape are already on the shelves at Ollie for 30% off. So they can say tabletop did 5% better, but really, did it? But anyways, today's the last day for Cynthia. We'll see how many other people are let go by Monday and what they plan to do. Because, hey, look, I know we said all these things about the player's handbook, but it looks like we changed them. So, yeah, we still got more player's handbook DM's guide news coming. And finally, the safety tools inclusion gatekeeping session 0 argument has come again. And I made a video about it yesterday, which I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of heat for. My stand on the safety tools things is still the same, having actually experienced. But I wonder how many of these other people who are anti-safety tools have actually had to deal with it, have ever actually had them used on you, or they're just anti-safety tools because they've been told that's what they need to think. They've been told this reality exists of these things happening, so they're like, yeah, I can't have that. And the same thing goes for the other side. I mean, neither side is right in this argument, okay? They're both just buried under layers of stubborn and stupid. So I'm not like saying, oh, yeah, I'm pro safety tools. Or I'm against safety tools. I think both sides of the argument have lost sight of what the argument was ever about in the first place when it started, 17 years ago. Neither of them are right. And they're both playing the I know you are, but what I am. But what am I? Haha, you're a whatever. If you don't think the way I think, I don't want you in my game card. I love the hypocrisy of saying how my table is inclusive. My table has always been inclusive. Anybody who wanted to play in my game could play in my game. And I'm very open to listening to my players, are the exact same people who are saying, but I gatekeep my game and I don't want these people in my game. And I don't really listen to my players. It's one or the other. You can't have both. You can't say my table is inclusive and always been inclusive, but then also say I need to gatekeep and I should have been gatekeeping this whole time. Makes me wonder how many of these people who gatekeep would have actually allowed me to play in their game. But yeah, that's the thing again. And I mean, it's news. It's gonna ruffle some feathers. I'm gonna say things about it people don't like. Other people are gonna say things about it for people don't like. Then in a few months, we'll talk about it again. And it'll be the exact same thing of finger pointing and name calling and whatever. And nothing changes. If everybody gatekeeps everybody from every game, soon nobody will be playing. And isn't that what Wizards wants? Nobody actually playing except online. No DMs except for AI DMs. Perpetuating the myth that the D&D table is unsafe, but also perpetuating the myth that we're completely inclusive. We welcome everybody to our table as long as they think, act, and look just like we do. the only way this changes is both sides agree to tear the argument apart and start over. And unless you are on the pro safety tool time side and actually have used them for both positive and negative, and if you're on the anti safety tools time, unless somebody has actually used them on you, do you really have gas to add to this fire? Has the people say these scenarios existed, but have they really? I mean, other than my personal experiences, which go back almost 15, 17 years, who else? I mean, have you ever had them used on you? Have you ever used them on somebody else? Were they successful? I mean, I'm not against them. I just don't think they work. But I totally am for session 0. I'm totally for listening to my players. I'm totally about, hey, this is common sense. I don't really want this at the game. And I would go, you know what? That's totally common sense. I wouldn't want this at the game. But I'm totally against you using those things as a way to sabotage the game and take power away from the table. The spider example, or the I forgot I was afraid of snakes example. That one, the X card for the sake of sabotaging the game. That one I'm not for. So yeah, that's a news thing again this week. So those are all the bits and bobs and stories we missed. I guess the two big ones would be the Discord Roll20 conglomeration and no BlizzCon this year. And again, no real reason for BlizzCon this year. Just, we're not going to do it. We'll do other things. Without being a fly on the wall, I can't say for sure. Part of me wonders, is this just a sign to come as more and more conventions realize that the pop-up convention idea that first germinated during COVID actually works better than just having everybody in one place? I kind of think the pop-up idea, if done correctly, does work better, but we'll see where things go. That's it for today. If you appreciate this nonsense, let me know. If you never want to hear me do this ever again, this is your channel. Let me know. I listen to my players / viewers because I'm inclusive. And if you don't like the stuff I have to say, let me know, and I'll help you find somebody else that might be more akin to the way you think, because I need your views, right? I'm a shameless shill. We know that. I've admitted that. So yeah, I want you to be happy because your happiness means more views. Take care. Enjoy the sun while it lasts. Get off my land.